Okay. I am bracing myself. Specialist autism support workers. Job details. Part-time, 5 to 10 positions for this role. Qualifications. Experience of autism, 2 years required. 2 years of autism required. Okay.
I have 18 years experience. Sorry. I have to say that. Crap cabbage.
Yeah. Full job description. We are looking for 5 spectacular people who are highly motivated, patient, happy, active, attentive, who can support our young people. Our young people have a high level of autism and are looking for support to engage in positive activities that include swimming, employment, and gym sessions, as well as planning and delivering sessions that will engage our users in learning educationally. Sounds very educational. We would like you to support our young people to reach their potential, either in a group or in a one-on-one basis, in a professional and caring manner. The service is brand new and will give the right team the opportunity to design and steer the project in the right direction. We currently have 6 referrals and more coming in daily. What we would like from you. We would like you to be respectful and polite to the people you are working with. We would like you to be reliable and punctual. We would like you to be actively involved in play and youth activities, including swimming, ball games, sensory play, and music. Be prepared to communicate differently with a wide range of people in different ways. Keep records and write reports when required. Always maintain the highest level of safety and safeguarding. Respond in a timely manner to internal communication, emails or phone calls. Be very willing to learn and access training. Be enthusiastic and motivated. Having a full, clean driving license, not essential. A minimum of 3 years experience of autism and or learning disability in adults and young people. Mental health needs, OCD behavior. Be very physically fit and able to run, jump, and enjoy physical activity. Be able to offer physical support. You will be a strong team player with great communication skills, have the ability to work under pressure, and above all, be passionate and committed to the development of the young adults we work with. You will have access to a high level of training as well as continuing professional development, part-time, full-time, but must be consistent. Be part of a great team, 7 to 80 pounds per day.
Crab cabbage. So what do you think?
Oh, 2 years. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
qualifications, experience of autism, 2-year required.
Crab cabbage.
So that means that pretty much any autistic person is qualified for starters, which is good.
Crab
but
cabbage.
I don't think they realize this is how it reads.
Yeah, crab cabbage. As well, it's also confusing because it says 2 years and then somewhere else in it says 3 years. I don't know, that's kind of confusing as well. But yeah, it's that's why I was like, well, I have 18 years experience, because experience in autism, I mean, it could be anything. It could be working with autistic people, it could be being autistic, it could be living with an autistic person, it could be being friends with an autistic person. It's quite vague, but hey, at least we're qualified.
Yeah, where I think, and I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of flack for that, so it'd be nice if it was published after my big talk. Okay, in the job description, we are looking for 5 spectacular people.
Spectacular. Yeah, make it seem like a job.
So, and then it's followed by highly motivated, patient, happy, active and attentive, who can support our young people. So to me, it's kind of like, come be a hero. So to me, it's like, that will attract a lot of people who fancy themselves as saviors. Savior behavior. I don't know what it's like in the UK, but here in Canada, if you're going to work with vulnerable populations, you must be able to pass a criminal check and a vulnerable sector check.
Yeah. Here we call it disclosure and barring service. Wow.
Okay. And is that something that would typically be included in a job posting?
In some of them I've read it is. So I feel like it should be, because in some of them I read it is. I had to get DBS checked when I worked with autistic kids, so I think it should be included in there.
Yeah.
Beans.
So if I was a client of those people, I would be very concerned to not see a criminal and vulnerable sector check. So to me, that reads like someone who's like, I'm an ally, I'm gonna help people, and just, starts talking about their third cousin with autism, that, they've been around their whole life. They see them every other weekend, and, that's the extent of autism experience. That's very loose. It kind of implies that anyone can do this job if you've been in contact with a person with autism. Not an autistic person, but very much our people with autism. Like, why is there an ownership here?
Yeah. Crab cabbage. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess that does sound weird. I didn't actually pick up on that, but I guess that does sound a bit strange, because it is like ownership. It's like, if you are involved with that place, you're ours now. And just, like, I don't know, imagine if, I don't know, a charity did that, it would be seen as very strange. So yeah, I get it.
Well, but that's what charities do. I don't like being appropriated by a charity who does not pay me. Just because I have a certain condition. I can't believe how many organizations just figure that because I have the condition, I'm okay with them using my person and image. A lot of people just seem to think that you're associated just because you know how to name a condition and you have that condition. Yeah, so to me, that would draw a lot of saviors, and the fact that there's no clear background check involved, to me, makes me concerned. It would make me concerned as a quote unquote person receiving services from that place. And now that I see what kind of people they're looking for, it's like, it's very ableist and infantilizing, and ableist and infantilizing.
Yeah, as well as that, though, I mean, cabbage, I'm not sure. I mean, to be a support worker, I guess you do sometimes with certain tasks need some element of physical activity to be able to support the person. At the same time, maybe, I don't know, maybe there are some people who a support worker might not actually need to be so active. They can still support someone without being so active. So I'm not sure, because the needs of autistic people are unique. So why do the support workers all have to be very active? That's just something I picked up on, because then someone who applies, but maybe they can't be so active, but they might actually be great at supporting autistic people. That's a bit of an issue as well. Crack cabbage.
But there also might be another autistic youth who experiences the same challenge this mentor has, right? So to be able to see yourself in a mentor is so important.
Crab cabbage.
Yeah. Until I was aware of Tourette's, holding regular jobs, and and others being self-employed, and others working part-time, and just there's so many ways to quote unquote exist as an autistic, Tourettic, disabled person. There's so many ways to exist. Yeah. Anything else in there that you noticed? Because to me, that was just like one big ableist post. I mean,
well, there is, but I don't. Again, I don't know if this is right. Crab cabbage, and I guess there's a whole different conversation that could be had about this. But I don't know if behavior is a negative term. They use behavior for things that may actually be symptoms, but I don't know if that's relevant or not. Cabbage.
neurological expressions, right?
Cabbage.
So yeah, again, it's still viewed through the behavior lens, and it's going to be viewed via the behavior lens if, again, it's presented like, come be a savior. That attracts a lot of these types of people, I find.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a whole different conversation could be had about this, but the behavior term is something, crab cabbage, that I find quite strange, because I understand that behavior can be anything. Like, I don't know, picking something up could be a behavior, but I guess because it's got such negative connotations, it's like behavioral problems and stuff, makes it seem like it's the person's fault. You can call things
pathologization of it. Pathologize. Yeah, pathologizing of it.
Yeah, I guess it as well, though, just, it makes the people seem as if they are bad, because it's associated with bad behavior, but they're literally, they may not be able to control it. So
yeah, so it implies motive.
Crab cabbage.
Yeah, so that would be an environment where an autistic person experiencing a meltdown might be perceived as having bad behavior, instead of just expressing. It's a neurological expression of what they're experiencing. So, and as someone who sometimes gets to that point, it's very important for me to have someone that I know will not treat it as a behavior or as me misbehaving. So that's very important. So again, if I was a service recipient of that, or the parent of a service recipient, and I saw that job description, I would be very concerned.
But I definitely get what you're saying when at the top I guess it lists loads of positive terms like motivated, patient, happy. I guess it does kind of imply that you're kind of like a savior if you work there. It definitely implies that in some way.
That one passage, our young people have a high level of autism.
Crab cabbage. It depends, because as well with that, it's like the functioning labels thing. An autistic person can appear neurotypical because they're masking, but they may still have a high level of autism in a different sense because they have more internal struggles rather than external ones. Beans, cab. So I guess that isn't very specific either.
Right. And that also implies that non-speaking. That implies it quite literally implies that the inability to verbally state what's happening, verbalize what's happening, implies that there's nothing else going on, which is completely false. Calling it a high level as well, to me, again, infantilizes quite a great deal, but it also removes agency right off the bat. It's hard to presume competence, like especially the way it's described. They don't presume competence of the autistic person.
Yeah, crab cabbage.
So to me, again, I'm reading that, it's like, if I'm a recipient of services there, I will have no agency.
Yeah, I get that. If they are saying it in that way, it's a high level of autism, it's possible that they may assume that the person can't make their own choices, or doesn't have their own views, or things like that.
So again, we're dealing with a vulnerable population. There's a lot of labels there. I understand the quote unquote well-meaning intent, but there's a lot of very toxic approaches in there.
Ow. Crab cabbage.
I would not want to be a client there. I will tell you that. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I'm trying to like pet myself into the perspective of crab cabbage. If I was an autistic person there, because I'm autistic, if I was an autistic person there, would I feel comfortable crab cabbage? And I guess with them saying what it was about, the sort of our like ownership sort of thing, I guess that does kind of take away from the individual, because you would be like, you want to be your own individual. You don't want to be simply associated with being part of that being owned by someone or stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Our young people have a high level of autism, like right there, that just creates a dependency model.
Crab cabbage.
And that quite literally advertises you have the power in that relationship. And that's something that is implied in a lot of places that I think should be present. So I'm looking at this. So if it's that present within an autism services place, does it make sense now while we're constantly excluded outside of that space, right? So does it make more sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also trying to see it from another point of view. Like, some people could say that our could be creating a sense of community, but I don't know. Crab cabbage.
It implies ownership. It bothers me.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We hope that you were able to see some new perspectives from this, and that it will help you think about things more deeply when you look at job listings and things like that. But yes, is there anything you would like to finish off with? Crab cabbage.
Well, first of all, I'm very, very impressed with all the things that you've noticed. And yeah, it's just think about reading between the lines, if you will, every time you look at a job posting. What is that job posting really saying to you about that employer and about the way they view disability? That's usually hidden somewhere in the language in there. I hope that was helpful.
And maybe an employer will see this and think more deeply when they write a job description. So hopefully.
But it's more for us being able to figure out what we're really being told in those job offers. All right. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm so thrilled. It's always a pleasure to converse with you. Thank you, Romy, for having those conversations with me.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I mean, it is absolutely amazing to have you on here. You have so much knowledge and expertise. So it's amazing to talk to you about these things, because you can definitely spot things really well, because I mean, that's like what you do but like most of the time. But yeah, it's really, really good to have someone with your level of expertise to be able to discuss it.
And also give yourself credit, because you did spot some stuff I didn't. So one of the things I've noticed during our conversation here is that you apologize a lot for the things that you notice. And I would like you to not do that. And I know it's a lot to ask, but you need to start trusting yourself. Trust yourself. Your instincts are right. Think about it this way. Go with your instinct. Listen to your instinct. You're better off to listen to your instinct and have a little conversation and go, am I right? Am I not? Than just ignoring it completely. Your instincts are good. Trust that.
Yes. And I think that is a very good thing to say. So thank you, and I think that's a great thing to leave on as well, because I'm sure there's like loads of people who need to hear that. So thank you very much for that. That's very good. But yes, it's been great talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.